Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Lewis. Lewis Speaks 2023, and today I want to talk to you all about father wounds. You know, a lot of the clients that I work with every day struggle with father wounds. A lot of them are not even aware that they struggle with these wounds. However, when you go into their family history, when you start to do the biopsychosocial assessment on them, you start to realize that many of them came from lopsided homes. Many of them came from homes that have not had a father figure and a strong male presence within those homes. And it's the absence of that male energy, that masculine energy, that creates a wound within their psyche. And a lot of people are not, open about this wound. A lot of people do not admit that they struggle with this wound because they're unaware of how deeply not having a father figure in their life really affected them. And so it's this unconscious wound for some that is the reason why they do not respect authority, male authority. They oftentimes challenge and buck up against male authority. And I see this in work with me. You know, as a black therapist, I sit across at times from black clients, black male clients, and you start to see this challenging, almost adversarial relationship happen. And you wonder, where is this coming from? But it's a form of transference. It's them trying to set up a dynamic within the therapeutic milieu in order to resolve past wounding, you know? Freud, he refers to this as repetition compulsion, where people tend to try and set up old dynamics as a way to negotiate them in the present and get that healing. And so me personally, I try my best not to take it personally, although sometimes it can definitely get intense and not productive to the session, at which time I have to terminate sessions. But for the most part, it can definitely be used as a tool. Taking that transference and using it as a tool to help the client gain a better insight into how not having a father figure, into how not having that male presence really might be impacting their lives in ways that they're not even aware of. Because a lot of times, it's unconscious. People are not fully aware, and that's what we do as therapists. We take the unconscious and we try to bring it to the client's awareness so that way they can make different choices. Choices that are in alignment with their goals, choices that are healthy, choices that speak to the person they want to become. And so this is the work that I do with my clients. I definitely try to point out things that I notice, patterns that I picked up on, in our work. And a lot of times I've noticed that they have difficulty leaning into my insights. They have difficulty with accepting and picking up what I'm putting down. And it's because they're so used to broken male authorities, wounded male authorities that have abused their power, that have manipulated them, that have beat them, that have been really cruel to them and abusive. And so they're taking that into session work with me, right? And this is why they're not able to receive the information, because they feel like, oh, here we go. It's another head shrinker that's trying to manipulate me the way my father did, the way my uncles did, the way my cousins did, the way any other male figure in their lives once did. And it's hard. It's hard having to explain to them and have them believe. That's the thing. Do they believe that I'm here to help them? That's the thing. They don't believe it because they're dealing with that trauma. They're dealing with that trauma that's associated with the father wound. So once again, how do you heal this wound? How do you actually heal this wound? So that way you are able to receive guidance, support, love from another man. For one, I'm a firm believer that we heal in relationship with other people. And so we definitely have to find a men's group, a men's support group, some men that we trust in order to heal this wound. You know, we don't really heal in isolation. We heal by taking chances, healthy risks, mind you. We have to take those healthy risks in order to begin healing, you know, from this wound. So definitely having some strong, positive male supports in our lives will definitely help heal this wound. I also think that unpacking our experiences with the men in our lives and how that has affected us, how not having a father figure affected us. We did not have that guidance because, let's be honest, masculine energy is associated with protection, discipline, is associated with structure, is associated with providing us that guidance that we need. And so when you don't have that father figure in the home, what ends up happening is that you lack that structure. You lack that guidance. You lack the protection. You don't feel safe, you know, around men. You know, I know so many young boys and men who hate men. They don't feel safe around these men. They feel like these men are dangerous. Therefore, they're not motivated to be vulnerable with these men. And so that's a sign. That is a sign that there's a father wound present, that they've experienced some form of abuse and trauma from masculine energy. You know, because unhealed masculine energy tries to dominate, tries to manipulate, tries to control, tries to gaslight, tries to undermine, tries to win. There's always this competitive spirit where one person has to win, and there's this vying, you know? Me personally, I see this in my office. When I'm sitting right across from a client, there's this adversarial relationship sometimes, and this adversarial transaction that exists. And when I notice that, I try to tap into that. You know, just the other day, one of my clients, we were crossing the street, and I told her, hey, you know, look out. You know, you want to definitely make, because she was in her phone, head down. Hey, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to the road. She got angry. She was like, don't tell me what to do. I was not telling her what to do. I was providing that protection. She's not used to that. She's not used to another man providing her with protection. She's used to men that leave her in danger. So this is why she also gravitates in her personal relationships to men that always put her in danger. Men that carry a level of danger within their energy, within their spirit. She doesn't deal with men who will be good to her. There's always men in her life that carry a level of danger, whether it's the thug, whether it's the person that is having all these different baby mamas, you know, and not taking care of any of the children that result from these relationships, whether it's a drug dealer, you know, it's all these men that will put her in what she's familiar with men. You know, she's familiar with being in danger by men. So here I am, a man trying to keep her safe, and she's rejecting that. Once again, that is the wound work that she has to do. I can't do that for her. All I can do is try to be a supportive male presence and try to show people the difference. I try to do that in session work with my clients. I definitely try to show them that not all men are what you were raised around. You may have been raised around men who were abusive, men who were negligent, men who were careless, but that is not all men. And I'm living proof of that. There are so many other men out in the world who are responsible fathers, who are good-natured, who are kind, who are invested, who show up, who are attentive, you know? So we need to show more positive examples of male leadership, men who have actually taken the charge and have handled their responsibility in a way that honors their God-given position, you know? And that's the thing. You know, I think we live in a world now that demonizes men, demonizes masculinity, sees it as oppressive. But that's not true masculinity, because true masculinity is fair, is supportive, is loving with structure. You know, discipline is a form of love. And when I say discipline, I don't mean abuse. I don't mean someone beating you with a belt. I don't mean someone smacking you, punching you, abusing you. That's not discipline. Discipline is guidance. Discipline is sitting you down, letting you know and correcting you lovingly, taking the time to let you know that this is not healthy and providing you with an alternative. You know, that is loving discipline. And a lot of people are not used to that. They're just not used to receiving that. And so they reject it. So to heal this wound, you have to, for one, recognize that there is a problem. You have to recognize just how deep this wound runs and what this wound has caused you to do in your life. You know, and that's the difficult part. A lot of people are just not aware of how this wound has really affected every aspect of their lives, from their ability to keep a job, from their ability to maintain a relationship, from their ability to really receive love and connect with others, from their ability to maintain friendships. How has that father wound really caused you to lose sight of good people, good relationships? How has that father wound affected your ability to take direction at jobs? Have you just up, jump, and quit and just left, or argue with your supervisors and argue with people that have offered you guidance? You know? Are you so quick to reject, like when another man offers you that guidance? Do you buck up and get angry? You know? I think a lot of times people have got to examine their relationship to masculine energy. Because if you don't examine that relationship, what's going to end up happening is that for some, it can be very, very life-threatening. It could affect their livelihood. It could affect every aspect of their life. Every aspect. Me personally, I had to examine my own father wound because I come from a single-parent household. You know, I had just my mom raising me, my mom, my grandmother. So not having that male in my life caused me to take some really, really dangerous turns. And so I realized that I had to come to, and I still, even now, have to come to terms of when I'm acting from that wounded place. You know? I can now recognize when I'm acting out from that wounded place and take the necessary steps to adjust, to rein myself back in, to take a moment of pause, to breathe and reflect, and then do the necessary and take the necessary steps in order to really receive the guidance, the protection, that support from other men. You know, and I think that that's important, that we as men begin to lean into each other and see each other as safe spaces, because if we continue to be competitive with one another, have this adversarial relationship, all we're doing is continuing to reinfect that wound, and it never heals when it's constantly reinfected. So to clean out the wound, to heal it, to bandage it up, we really need to be in relationship with other good men who are striving to love on us, protect us, provide that guidance and support that's essential. So I hope that this video was definitely helpful to those who are striving with, or struggling actually, with managing their father wounds. You know, this is definitely just one part of the series that I will be doing on exploring father wounds, mother wounds, and various wounds that we carry around with us. But definitely stay tuned. If this video resonates, please share it. If it's helpful for someone, definitely leave some comments. Share with me your experiences on how you negotiate and navigate your father wounds. All right. Hope everybody has a safe 2023. Peace, y'all.